My dog sitter threatened to sue me, part 3. And now we go on to the following day, and everything else in this story is now over messages from Sandra. I wanted to talk to you about the pet sitting yesterday. Initially, I agreed to do it as a favor, but I've since learnt you had a camera set up and were monitoring me without letting me know in advance. That felt like a violation of trust. Talking to me about a violation of trust? That felt like a violation of trust, and it's made me reconsider our arrangement. Given the circumstances, I'm no longer comfortable treating it as a favor. My usual rate is £13 an hour, and I was there for 6.5 hours, which comes to £84.50. Which is funny because how is that your usual rate when you're not actually a dog sitter? She was literally just a neighbor. Please let me know when you can send it over. I had to take a break, but I'm back. I said, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about the camera beforehand. I only checked the camera once last night very quickly because I wanted to see what Fifi was up to, and then I saw that you had your dog and your mum over. I thought we agreed that our dogs wouldn't meet yet, but maybe that was a miscommunication, so I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt still. I apologize for making you feel uncomfortable, but you also made us all feel uncomfortable last night. You mentioned I broke your trust, but you also broke my trust by bringing your mum and dog over without asking. I don't want any beef, but you did agree that you'd do it for free. I can give you some form of payment, but I won't be paying the amount that you mentioned since I wasn't happy with your services and how the night ended. Why would I pay you when you literally shouted in my face that you're gonna sue me? And obviously I have many receipts of her saying that it was free and it was a favor, so you can't really go back on that once we had already agreed on that. Sandra says, shame you didn't like my services. But recording someone without their knowledge is a serious breach of trust. I am owed my money. I'm not a thief or a crook. And I'm disgusted with your attitude, laughing in my face and threatening me as I left your flat, with your boyfriend putting his fist up, shouting that I had a shit in your flat. Okay, remember when I did this and I said remember it for later? When my boyfriend and his friends were posing for the camera when she said, I'm gonna take pictures of your faces. That's when they did that. So I don't know if she saw that like this. And I don't think I was laughing in this situation, by the way. Like I said, I was scared of confrontation. I was standing at the corner like this. She says, it doesn't matter if my mum came round. Well, it kind of does when you're in my place and you haven't asked if guests could come over. My mum came round to bring me something. It was a long time, no TV. There is a clip that I've seen of her trying to use the TV. Is that my fault if you don't know how to use a TV? No. And to say that her mum came round to bring her something when I can see on the camera that she was there the whole time. I forgot to say as well, there is a clip on the camera where her mum is basically like saying that because we've got such an expensive flat, obviously they're just guessing, they don't know how much it costs, but they're thinking that we're rich now. And her mum says like, oh, if they offer you any money for this, you should take it. Like knowing that she's doing the dog sit for free, but now because they've seen the flat and they think we're rich, that she should get paid for it. You don't have to believe me. I can't put the video clips in. I had to clear up dog mess with rubber gloves my mum bought round. Is that a crime? Given I was doing it for free on a Saturday night, I'd like you to find someone else who would do it. Why did you have to pick up dog mess with rubber gloves? I don't think that's a normal thing to do, but you're blaming that on me, that you chose to pick it up with rubber gloves? Like, poo bags exist for a reason. Also, she's complaining that she did it for free on a Saturday night when obviously she knew prior to this dog sit that it would be a Saturday night and had no problem with it. I gave up 6.5 hours of my time to care for your pet, which I did. That is not for free now, not for you. £84.50, you can pay it installments if you can't pay it now. I said, as we agreed prior to the arrangement that this would be a free service, I won't be paying anything. That was before you decided to set a camera up and monitor me without my consent. Like I've said before, I did not check the camera that one time to monitor her. I was just wanting to see how our dog was. And since all of this happened, I went back and watched all of the clips. Which, yes, I'm monitoring you now. I wouldn't have gone back and watched all of the clips if it was just a nice normal dog sit, would I? I said the camera was already there. We didn't set it up for you. I'd suggest we end this conversation here as I feel like it's going back and forth without a solution. It won't be ending here at all. You have no right to set up a camera and record me in your flat without telling me. It's not legal and very disturbing thing to do. Creepy, in fact. I think she's just mad because she got caught. If you notice, I have not brought up any of the other weird things that she was doing in my flat yet. You're a liar as well. If it was there for your dog, why would you be watching me on there? She then sends me something from the internet or chat GPT or something where it says that you should inform the sitter that cameras are in use, which I also found that on Google, but it doesn't say that legally you have to let them know, which I've already explained. In the same message that she's copied and pasted from wherever, it also literally backs up my point. It says cameras placed for security or animal safety in communal areas like the living room could be seen as reasonable. So it was in the living room / dining room, they're all connected, so it could be seen as reasonable. Like, you just sent me that. She said, you owe me £84.50. That's one solution. I'm not doing you any favours on my Saturday night for 6.5 hours looking after your dog while you spy on me for nothing. The spy camera, I'll keep you updated on the solution for that one. Who seems like the adult in this situation? Because I think I've been very nice, considering I know that she was snooping around my flat and taking pictures of my stuff. My dog sitter threatened to sue me, part 2. Go and watch part 1 for everything that's happened so far. Anyway, this is the point where I actually went onto the Blink app while I was out. I thought, I'm just gonna check in and see what Fifi's doing. I saw Sandra's dog was in the flat with my non-vaccinated dog. Obviously, I specifically said she can't meet other dogs. This is why you were doing the dog sit in our flat instead of in your flat with your dog. That was the whole point. She agreed, oh, our dogs will meet another time. They don't have to meet now. So I'm really glad that that was the point, that I checked the app, but I hadn't seen anything else leading up to that point. So after much deliberation, I decided to text Sandra. I said, hey, sorry, just checking the camera to see how everything is, and I see that your dog is over. Please, could you take your little one home? I don't know if she read that message or not, but I thought we might as well just call her. When I the next day watched back all of the footage from the night, I could see the moment that my boyfriend called her. Sandra and her mum audibly gasped when we called her. There were a lot of times as well where, like, Sandra's mum would say things like, are they going to come home? Like, oh, what if they come home right now? Stuff like that. So they clearly knew that her mum shouldn't be there. My boyfriend was very, very nice on the phone, by the way. I was just I don't like confrontation. He told me that Sandra was very apologetic and she said that yes, she would take her dog home. And on the camera, when I checked back after the phone call was over, Sandra literally said to her mum, I'm in trouble. And Sandra's mum says, I better go home. And this is crazy. 5 minutes after that phone call, Sandra moves the camera to face the wall. So from that point on the clips, I didn't see anything that happened. Then she started texting me saying, when will you be home, as I don't feel comfortable? Then she forwarded my own message to me where I said, if your dog is vaccinated, then they can meet, basically. And I said this a few days ago and you didn't get back to me about whether your dog was vaccinated or not. She said, he's 9 years old, not 9 months. Okay, so is he vaccinated or not? And I said, I'm sorry you don't feel comfortable. I forgot to tell you about the camera, but it's only there to check on Fifi when she's in her crate at night. But yes, I did check it once while I was out because we had a 9-week puppy and this was the first time that we had left her with someone. And I just happened to see you doing something you shouldn't be doing. Am I in the wrong here? She said, of course he's vaccinated. He travels abroad. Okay. How was I meant to know that? And then I kept her updated. I said, on the way back now. We came back with all of our friends that were there at the start of the night. And by the way, when we got back, Fifi, our dog, was visibly scared. She was hiding up a corner in the kitchen that she had never been in before. And obviously, because the camera had been moved, we don't know what happened in those last hour or two. My boyfriend entered the flat first and he said, hello. Sandra was in the kitchen and she said, I'm really not happy. I'm furious, in fact. And Sam, my boyfriend, says, well, we're not very happy either, to be honest. Sandra said, I didn't realize Big Brother would be watching me. My boyfriend just wanted to make a light-hearted joke out of the situation and he said, Big Brother's always watching. So because Sandra was still in the kitchen and me and all of my friends were still in like the entryway to the flat, she had to come out of the kitchen and walk through all of us to get out of the front door. I was just standing up the corner because, like I said, I hate confrontation. So I was just kind of standing there like this. And she walked past in front of me and she said, "I'm going to sue you, actually." So now she's outside of the flat in the hallway, and my boyfriend and one of our friends were standing in the doorway of the flat. My friend said they have every legal right to have a camera in their own property for safety and security. Sandra gets her phone out and starts taking pictures of my boyfriend and our friend. And she said, "I'm going to get photos of your faces." So naturally, because she was the only one angry here, my boyfriend and our friends were standing in the doorway like this, like posing for the photo. Remember this as a pose because this will come back up later. And up until this point, we hadn't mentioned to Sandra that we knew that her mum was round. We only mentioned her dog being over. Sandra said, "I've got photos of your faces on camera now." My boyfriend says, "Yeah, we've also got your face and your mum's face on camera. Thanks for asking for our permission for your mum to come round, by the way. I'm just gonna act this out." "What? My 78-year-old mum? Thanks for asking for permission. There's a shit on the side, by the way." "You did a shit on the side? That's crazy. Wow." "All right, thanks, Sandra. Good night." And now we go on to the following day, and everything else in this story is now over messages. So many messages.